Hello, children. I'm your English teacher, Khazala Kamran. Hope you are safe and healthy and ready for your first English literature lesson. I want you to look at the following pictures. What comes to your mind? If you have guessed birthday presents, then you have guessed correctly, because in this lesson we are going to read the lesson Birthday Presents. It is the first lesson in your Oxford Reading Circle 6 book. It is taken from the book The Indian in the Cupboard, written by Lynn Reed Banks. In this lesson you will find some new words. These are: number 1, grateful; number 2, fed up; number 3, Red Indian; number 4, scattered; number 5, loft; number 6, appreciate; number 7, flattish; number 8, cryptonic; and number 9, regretted. Let's look at the meaning of these words also. Here is the list of meaning. Number 1, grateful means thankful. 2, fed up means tired of. Red Indian is a native of America. Scattered means dispersed. Loft is a room or space directly under the roof of a house or other building. Number 6, appreciate means to be pleased about something. Number 7, flattish means dull. Number 8, cryptonic is the name of skateboard wheels which were very popular in the 1970s. And number 9, regretted means to be sorry. Now we are ready to start reading the first page of the lesson. After reading each page, I will explain it to you also. So open up page 9 of your Oxford Reading Circle 6 book and read with me. Birthday presents. It was not that Omri didn't appreciate Patrick's birthday present to him. Far from it. He was really very grateful, sort of. It was, without a doubt, very kind of Patrick to give Omri anything at all, let alone a second-hand plastic Red Indian which he himself had finished with. The trouble was, though, that Omri was getting a little fed up with small plastic figures, of which he had loads, biscuit tins full, probably 3 or 4 if they were all put away at the same time, which they never were, because most of the time they were scattered about in the bathroom, the loft, the kitchen, the breakfast room, not to mention Omri's bedroom and the garden. Omri and Patrick had spent many hours together playing with their joint collection of plastic toys. But now they'd had about enough of them, at least for the moment. And that was why, when Patrick brought his present to school on Omri's birthday, Omri was disappointed. He tried not to show it, but he was. Here's an explanation of what we have read on page 9. The story starts with 2 boys. One is Omri, who has his birthday, and the other is his friend Patrick. Patrick has given Omri a plastic figure of a Red Indian as a gift. Red Indian are the people who lived in America even before the Europeans invaded it. Although Omri is tired of plastic figure toys, he is still very pleased that his friend has given him a gift. But at the same time, Omri is disappointed also with this present, because he and Patrick already have lots of such toys. Omri's toys are dispersed all over the house, which tell us that he is not a very neat person. Now here's something that I want you to learn. Before we go to the next page, let's find out what a topic sentence and its supporting detail is. So what is a topic sentence of a paragraph? The topic sentence is usually the first sentence in a paragraph. The topic sentence helps organize the paragraph by summarizing the information in the paragraph. The topic sentence tells what the paragraph is about, and the rest of the paragraph consists of detail about the topic given in the topic sentence. Now we can understand this if we look on page 9. Let's go back and look at page 9. Here. On page 9 there are 3 paragraphs. Each paragraph starts with the topic sentence. That means the first sentence of every paragraph is the topic sentence. On the third paragraph, you can see the first sentence here. This is the topic sentence. Now, let's pay attention to the second paragraph. The first sentence contains the words plastic figures. Let's read this out. The trouble was, though, that Omri was getting a little fed up with small plastic figures, of which he had loads. So in this sentence, we are told about plastic figures. So plastic figures tell us that this is the topic of the paragraph, and the rest of the paragraph gives us more information about the topic. So the rest of the paragraph gives supporting detail to the topic. The topic is plastic figure. First sentence tells us that this paragraph is about plastic figures. This is the topic sentence. And the rest of the paragraph gives more information or supporting detail to this topic. So I hope with this in mind, you now know what a topic sentence and its supporting detail is. I will be asking you questions about this later on, so don't forget it. Okay, let's continue with our story on page 10 now. Okay, in your books, if you have them, open up page 10 and read with me. Do you really like him? Asked Patrick, as Omri stood silently with the Indian in his hand. Yes, he's fantastic, said Omri in only a slightly flattish voice. I haven't got an Indian. I know. I haven't got any cowboys either. Nor have I. That's why I couldn't play anything with him. Omri opened his mouth to say, I won't be able to either. But thinking that might hurt Patrick's feelings, he said nothing, put the Indian in his pocket and forgot about it. After school, there was a family tea, and all the excitement of his presence from his parents and his 2 elder brothers. He was given his dearest wish, a skateboard complete with kickboard and kryptonic wheels from his mum and dad, and from his eldest brother Adil, a helmet. Gillen, his other brother, hadn't bought him anything because he had no money. His pocket money had been stopped some time ago in connection with a very unfortunate accident involving their father's bicycle. So when Gillen's turn came to give Omri a present, Omri was very surprised when a large parcel was put before him, untidily wrapped in brown paper and string. Now this is the end of page 10, and the explanation for this page is that in the beginning, Patrick asks Omri if he likes his gift. Omri says that it is very nice, but his voice sounds dull, which gives a hint that he is not very happy. Omri hides its disappointment because he doesn't want to hurt his friend's feelings. On the other hand, his friend Patrick gives Omri something he doesn't want for himself. In the evening, Omri receives more gifts. His parents give him a skateboard, which he wanted for a long time, and it even had the very popular Kryptonic wheels. His eldest brother Adil gives him a helmet, and his other brother, Gillen, his pocket money was stopped as a punishment because he had an accident with their father's bicycle. So when Gillen gives Omri a large parcel, Omri is very surprised. Now I think we should stop here because here I have a challenge for those who think they are very good students. Let's look at these questions and think of their answers. The questions are: number 1, what the story is about. Number 2, Omri was bored by what kind of toys. And number 3, what is the topic sentence of the first paragraph of this lesson? If you had been paying attention, this would not be very difficult for you, and I'm sure all of you have found your answers by now. Okay, let's check them. The story is about birthday presents, and Omri was bored by plastic figure toys, and the topic sentence of the first paragraph is the first sentence of the lesson because it is also the first sentence of the first paragraph. Okay, now that we have revised the story a little bit, we have revised what we have learned and we have read from the book. Now let's move on to the next page. Here. Now, take your books, open up page 11, and let's find out what gift has Gillen given to his brother Omri. What do you think could be in the big parcel covered in brown paper and string? The parcel is big, should be something nice. So let's find out. Have you opened up your books? Okay, page 11. What is it? Have a look. I found it in the alley. The alley was a narrow passage that ran along the bottom of the garden where the dustbin stood. The 3 boys used to play there sometimes and occasionally found treasures that other, perhaps richer, neighbors had thrown away. So Omri was quite excited as he tore off the paper. Inside was a small white metal cupboard with a mirror in the door, the kind you see over the basin in old-fashioned bathrooms. You might suppose Omri would once again be disappointed because the cupboard was fairly plain and, except for a shelf, completely empty. But oddly enough, he was very pleased with it. He loved cupboards of any sort because of the fun of keeping things in them. He was not a very tidy boy in general, but he did like arranging things in cupboards and drawers and then opening them later and finding them just as he'd left them. I do wish it locked, he said. You might say thank you before you start complaining, said Gillen. It's got a keyhole, said their mother, and I've got a whole box full of keys. Why don't you try the smaller ones and see if any of them fit? Okay, this is the end of page 11. And what is happening here is that Gillen tells that he found the cupboard in the alley or a small lane where dustbins are. The 3 brothers used to play there, and sometimes they would find things thrown away by other people that they liked very much. So Omri tears the paper to find that it is a white metal cupboard. Omri liked small cupboards, and his brother knew that. Even though Gillen had no money, he still found a present his brother liked. Omri wishes that it might have a lock. Their mother points the keyhole and says that they can try keys from the many she has in a box. Do you think Omri will find a key for the cupboard? Let's find out and read page number 12. Okay, page 12. What is it? Have a look. No. Let's go to page 12. Yes, here it is. Page 12. Most of the keys were much too big. But there were half a dozen that were about the right size. All but one of these were very ordinary. The unordinary one was the most interesting key in the whole collection. Small, with a complicated lock part and a fancy top. A narrow strip of red satin ribbon was looped through one of its curly openings. Omri saved that key for last. None of the others fitted, and at last he picked up the curly topped key and carefully put it in the keyhole on the cupboard door, just below the knob. He did hope very much that it would turn, and regretted wasting his birthday cake cutting wish on something so silly, or rather unlikely, as that he might pass his spelling test the next day, which would take real magic to bring about, as he hadn't even looked at the words since they had been given out 4 days ago. Now he closed his eyes and unwished the test pass, and wished instead that this little twisty key would turn Gillen's present into a secret cupboard. The key turned smoothly in the lock. The door would not open. "Hey, Mom, I found one!" This is the end of page 12. And the story till here is that Omri starts trying the small keys one by one. He keeps a fancy one to try in the last. Omri had wished to pass the spelling test next day as he had cut his birthday cake. But now he wants this key to fit the lock more than passing the test. So when he tries the fancy key, he wishes that instead of passing the test, this key may fit the lock. And it does. So let's revise what we have learned in this story till now. Okay, to do this, here are a few questions. I'm going to read the questions, think of the answers. Question number 1. What gifts did Omri receive on his birthday? Question number 2. Where did Gillen find the cupboard? Question number 3. Which gift do you think Omri liked the best? The answers are: question number 1. What gifts did Omri receive on his birthday? Omri received a red Indian figure plastic toy, a skateboard, a helmet, and a small white metal cupboard. Question number 2. Where did Gillen find the cupboard? The answer is: Gillen found the cupboard in the alley where the dustbins were. And question number 3. Which gift do you think Omri liked the best? Well, I think till now he likes his skateboard the best. Do you want to find out what happens next in the story? We will find this out in the second part of this lesson. And now it's time for your homework. For your homework, you have to do questions 1 to 4 from exercise A Exercise A is on page 16 of your book. Do these questions on a foolscap sheet and submit in the office on Tuesday between 9 and 11 a.m. And until then, until you see part 2, don't forget your homework. Stay indoors, wash your hands frequently, stay safe. Thank you for your attention and bye-bye.